percentages, ratios, and rates. Today we are looking at our final exercise in the chapter, exercise 2H, understanding rates. This might be a little bit new this year, but they are rates you've definitely seen them before, probably in science, if not already in maths. So a rate compares two quantities of different kinds. Remember how we had ratios in our previous few sessions that compared quantities of the same kind? Rates compare those of different kinds. Therefore, we have to include their units. So, for example, average speed, to calculate that, is given by distance divided by time. So our units would be meters per second, so distance in meters and time in seconds, or kilometers as your distance and hours as your time. And these would be the units of speed. Okay, for a rate to be in its simplest form, the second quantity must have a a value of 1. So we're kind of using that concept of simplifying ratios again to use rates. Of course, though, we can have decimals or fractions in our rates. Decimals are preferred over fractions because of that second number having to have a quantity of 1. So we'll give it a go. We've got two rates here that we're going to write as rates, and then we'll do a rate calculation. So the first example, we're going to write 300 meters traveled in 5 seconds in simplest form. So that is 300 meters per 5 seconds. Of course, we want this second number here to be 1. So to do that, we need to divide both sides by that number, or both halves of the rate by 5. Okay, that would then give us a value of 1 here. Okay, and 300 divided by 5, you might be able to do that in your head. You might need to use normal multiplication. Okay, 30 divided by 5 is 6, and then pop the 0 back on the end. You get 60 meters per second, which is pretty fast. Okay. Probably not if you're in a car. All right, one more of those. 4 muffins cost $10. What is the price per muffin? So we want the price per muffin, and we've got 4 muffins here. Okay, so again, we want to make this second number here the number 1. To do that, we're going to divide it by itself. We get 4. We need to do the same to the first half of the rate. And that gives us, you might be able to do that in your head. I hope that you know that 1/4 of $10 is $2.50 per muffin. So we do read the slash as per, so meters per second, $2.50 per muffin. Okay. One last example. I forgot the word example for a second. How much will 31 litres of petrol cost if 15 litres cost $20.70? So there are a few more steps to this question. Step number 1, we need to write the rate, and I'll write this out for you. Step number 1, we need to write a rate. Okay. In this case, we're going to have dollars per litre. Okay. So we know that 15 litres cost $20.70. We want our money to go first, so $20.70 per 15 litres. We want to simplify that. I would recommend having a calculator handy at this step. The same thing as we did earlier, we need to divide this number by itself to get per 1 litre. So we do the same to the other side. And that gives us $1.38 per litre of fuel. Okay, so when you drive past the petrol stations, this is what you'll see written up on the screen. Actually, it'll usually be 138 because they use cents per litre rather than dollars per litre for whatever reason. And yeah, so now we have a rate. Step 2 is now going to be to multiply this rate by the new amount, which in our situation is 31 litres. So hint, 31 is just a little over double 15, so we should have at least $41 as our answer. just as a really good way to check. So we do $1.38 per litre times 31 litres. Having that per litre and times litre actually does this thing where it just cancels out those units. There shouldn't have been a per litre in there, my bad. Let me fix that, okay. And again, using your calculator, 1.38 times 31, or you could do normal long multiplication if you would like. We get $42.78, okay? The questions in your textbook probably won't have this many decimals in them, but as always, I try to pick a slightly trickier example so that the stuff that you guys will come across in your workbooks and assessments seem a lot easier, okay? Those are your 2 steps every time, unless, of course, you're just calculating or giving rates in their simplest form. Please remember that the slash needs to go in there, okay? Don't just write MS. That means something very different, okay? It means meters times seconds rather than meters divided by seconds, which is what we did. We divided meters by seconds, okay? We divided 300 meters by 5 seconds to find the meters per seconds, or we divided $10 by 4 muffins to find how much per muffin, okay? Hence why we do the division in, which I've done in green on the screen. As always, if you have any questions, guys, let me know. I'll speak to you all very soon, but otherwise, good luck.